Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. The religion of peace. Is it a religion of peace? Well, I'll let you decide, but let's look at the facts. A Pew Research poll from 2007 shows that 35% of young Muslims in Britain believe suicide bombings are justified. A poll from the Federation of Student Islamic Societies in 2005 shows that about 1 in 5 Muslim students in Britain, that's 18%, they would not report a fellow Muslim planning a terror attack. Shockingly, that number, that's growing. That was 2005. An ICM poll from 2016 found that 2 out of every 3 Muslims in Britain would not report a terror plot to the police. A Policy Exchange survey, also from 2016, also found that 48% of British Muslims would not report a person linked to terror. Accordingly, an ICM poll shows that 25% of British Muslims disagree that a Muslim has an obligation to report terrorists to police. A poll from The Sun conducted in 2015 shows that after the November 2015 attacks in Paris, 1 in 4 young Muslims in Britain said they sympathize with those who fight for ISIS. Now, those numbers are shocking. The numbers are appalling also when it comes to the process of radicalization. An ICM poll conducted in 2005 shows 27% of British Muslims do not support deportation of Islamic extremists who preach violence or hate. Furthermore, a BBC radio survey from 2015 found that 45% of British Muslims agree that clerics who preach violence against the West do represent mainstream Islam. This is not just hypothetical. An ICM poll from 2006 found that 20% of British Muslims sympathize with the 7/7 bombers, radical Islamic terrorists who killed 52 people. It's not just in Britain either. A Pew Research poll from 2007 found 26% of young Muslims in America believe suicide bombings are justified. 22% of young Muslims in Germany, 29% of young Muslims in Spain, 42% of young Muslims in France believe suicide bombings are justified. A World Public Opinion poll found 24% of Palestinians support the murder of Americans on U.S. soil. A Pew Research poll from 2010 found 15% of Indonesians, 34% of Nigerian Muslims believe suicide bombings are often or sometimes justified. The polling company found in 2015 that 19% of Muslim Americans say violence is justified in order to make Sharia law the law of the land in the United States. 25% of Muslim Americans say violence against Americans in the United States is justified as part of the global jihad. Now, Salman Abedi, the terrorist who bombed the Ariana Grande concert and killed 22 people, he was a British-born person. His family was Muslim. He's somehow radicalized. How? We don't know yet. He traveled to Libya just weeks before the attack. According to British authorities, he was tied to a larger terror network. ISIS claims Abedi was a soldier of the caliphate, wreaking vengeance on Britain for their fight against ISIS. Now, the mainstream media and the Democrats won't even utter the words radical Islam, and that's cowardly. They fear the political backlash more than they fear the terrorists themselves. And as a result of that, people are dying. Since nobody else will ask the question, I will. Does the religion of Islam have a problem? Are the terrorists who attack in the name of Allah a few radicals who pervert the true Islam, or is that violence the norm? It's not an easy conversation, but it is a conversation we need to have, and a good place to start is those numbers. And that's my final point. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, and until then, have a good night.